Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us virtually on this news conference coordinated by the Southwest Indiana Chamber and our partners at the Henderson Chamber of Commerce. We've talked a lot about cooperation and collaboration in the last 8 to 10 weeks, and I think it's coming to a great head right now as our communities prepare to reopen for business. In the last several weeks, there's been just great collaboration between our communities, the communities of Evansville and Henderson, and it's really evidenced by the work that you're about to see, the graphics and the material that our chambers are making available to local businesses really promote a welcoming back atmosphere, and it promotes the fact that we're collaborating at an extraordinary level. Before I hand it off to County Judge Executive Brad Schneider, I would like to remind everyone who is watching this that it's really imperative upon all of us as we get back out into society, whether we're going to a restaurant or retail shop, wherever, that we continue to practice social distancing and we continue to wear masks. If we continue to do all these things, we will be able to stay on the path that our respective governors are outlining for our communities. So really implore people to adhere to the guidelines that have been provided to us. With that, I'm really pleased to toss it over to County Judge Executive Brad Schneider for a welcome from the other side of the river.
Thank you, Mayor, and huge kudos to the Southwest Indiana Chamber of Commerce and also the Henderson Chamber of Commerce for partnering on this. As we have approached the time that Kentucky is going to reopen next week, monitoring social media here in Henderson, you can tell that people are still reticent to go out into the community and resume more normal activities, especially when it comes to visiting shops and retail establishments. And this effort to indicate to people that stores and businesses are ready to have them back, are following CDC guidelines, I think is going to be a big help to restoring that confidence. And we're all, worried about our economies. We want them to bounce back, and this is one way that we can do it and cooperate on either side of the river to help get it done, because we all know we share workforce, we share shoppers, we share business owners, and cooperating in this way is only going to benefit us and benefit the public and help them know that it's safe to come back in our stores. On the Henderson side of the river, we're going to use this messaging and in many different ways, social media, door clings, for example, to show that businesses over here are following the governor's 10 rules for safety for business establishments. And those 10 rules include all the things you've heard, including the availability of hand sanitizer, good practices in social distancing, using masks, cleaning, and making sure that there are only a certain number of customers in the stores, and many other aspects that these businesses that are going to have this signage are committed to following. So it's a great effort. I really appreciate the Evansville leadership, and we're eager to help on this side of the river with our chamber and certainly with city and county government. So thank you, Mayor, and I'll turn it over to the rest of our group here.
Yeah, let me, before I turn it back up to Tara and Ellen, Louis, just give a shout out to the Reopen Task Force and Deputy Mayor Steve Schaefer. The work they're doing and all the subgroups leading up to this is really phenomenal. There are a lot of people working on this effort, and really with a focus of making sure people get back to work and back into the marketplace in the safest, healthiest way possible. So my bad for not mentioning that off the top. I wanted to make sure I got that plug in before we moved on.
Mayor, may I explain the So what you see on the screen here right now is the digital opener of a media kit that we have put together in partnership with our colleagues in Henderson to make sure that that the transition goes smoothly. And we've said from day one, we want the reopening to be smart and safe. And I think that it's fair to say that every business we've been in touch with is as committed to making sure that their places of business are sanitized, that their employees are well trained and healthy, and that their customers can feel confident as they come back into their places of business. So we developed this kit so the businesses could communicate that clearly. So there's three quick slides that I'll flip through, and they're available to you if you want to use them for future stories. But basically, this media kit is available digitally, so our businesses can download it from either our chamber or the Henderson Chamber's websites. And then we prepared some window clings for those businesses that don't have easy access to printers. And I'd point out, in case you can't see it, that it's available in Spanish as well for those businesses that cater to primarily a Spanish-speaking part of our community. The second aspect of this, may I go to the next slide, is our colleagues at Lamar are going to work with us on making this communication available on some of their billboards around the region. You might ask why? Because we think having the general public recognize this particular mark and identify it when they see it on businesses would be one of the ways that we build confidence in our community that they can smartly and safely and with social distance re-engage in commerce in our community. And then finally, we'll have in the media kit a host of other graphics and sign opportunities that our businesses can use to encourage masking among their customers, to reinforce the importance of safe social distance, and to help businesses with the tools they need to re-engage their customers safely. So in a nutshell, that's the material that we prepared, and we're going to start distributing it later today or early tomorrow. I'll turn it over to my colleague, Ellen. I'm sure she has more to say about how it gets rolled out in the area that she has primary leadership in. Ellen?
Well, thank you, Tara. I appreciate that. Mostly it's just Henderson is thrilled to be working with Indiana on this. We believe the common message shows that we are a region and that we are working together. We all have the same message. We have the same goal, is to open safely with sustainability. And this will give, like Tara said, the confidence of the places that open and the customers that come in there. So great job for the task force. Henderson has a task force as well, if there's any local needs, but both task force are working together, and because we are a region.
So I will throw that back to the mayor or to the judge executive, or to, you can open up for questions whenever you think that's appropriate, sir.
Yeah, I think we're ready for questions.
Yeah. You'll have to unmute. I'm sure you're all good at that by now, but. You know, we all hate dead air, so if you don't have questions, we've got 5 other things we can talk to you about.
Hey everybody, it's Joseph from Channel 14. I hope you all can hear me.
Yes.
I guess my question is, just in talking with some of these businesses here in the region, is there a certain level of anxiety or nervousness just in, you know, making sure that they try to do everything the right way? And are they nervous that maybe their customers may not do everything the right way? And how are you all trying to go about that?
I think if you look at the number of businesses that are participating in the town halls, the virtual town halls that have been held over the last two or 3 weeks, you get a real sense that businesses want to do this the right way. They're concerned about their customers. They're concerned about their employees. So yes, I think there's a extraordinarily high level of focus on the part of the businesses to do things right.
Yeah, just go ahead and
Good.
ask.
Hi, everyone. Megan DeVenti here. I was wanting to clarify when the signs will actually be put up in the window or the billboard, or just kind of those will be there for the local businesses.
We've put them out on our websites as of this press conference, so they're available to businesses now. The clings will be available later today and tomorrow. We're telling businesses, so we appreciate if you'd share this, that they can go to either of our websites if they want a cling. Every business is welcome to download the digital content and use it without any further effort. But if they want a cling in particular, they can contact our two chambers. And we're organizing distribution, so we'll get them out to them promptly so that they're available as businesses reopen. Different sectors are opening at different paces, obviously. So this will roll out over the coming weeks. Any other questions? If I might just, since we've got the floor, I might just follow up on the mayor's comment about the town halls, because I think the biggest reason for producing this media kit is to help in the space that is new for all of us. And that is how our businesses who are so committed to their customers and certainly to their business's success, that have been going the extra mile. So I've been on town halls with hundreds of businesses in these past few weeks, and they want to hear from the health department. They want to know they've got it right. They're doing all they can to make sure that the virus is still with us, and how we engage in business and manage this is the exercise we're all engaging in. So I couldn't be more proud of how our many local businesses have stepped up to make sure they're doing all they can to make sure that their customers do feel confident. And to the general public, I think that, you know, we all miss being out in the retail space, but when we go, if we'd wear this, that would be great, because that's going to be an awkward moment for all of us, and we've got to recognize this is a sign of respect, and we should wear it when we're out engaging in commerce. So I think that will help our businesses feel good, and it should help our public to feel good getting back into some of these retail businesses. Anything else, Mayor, Brad, that we should communicate to our colleagues today?
We had a 90-minute Facebook Live webinar yesterday for our business community, and it went very well. And to follow up on what Mayor Winneke said, we had a lot of businesses checking in to watch that, because they do want to do the right thing. I think especially in retail, they know that their ability to convey confidence to the public that their spaces are safe is going to be really key to keeping it sustainable, as Ellen said. Stopping and starting with the business to try to figure out how to make sure that customers think your place of business is safe is not the way to go. It's not going to help you get back up to speed. And it may be much more difficult to overcome the idea that your place is not safe when everything else is opening up than it is to do the right thing up front. And these clings and the signage, we think, not only sends the message to the customers that the business they're about to enter is doing it right, but it should remind the businesses every day that they do need to follow through and continue to do what's right for their customers and their employees. So it's not only good for customers, but I think it's good for businesses as well. So again, we really appreciate the task force in Evansville helping put this together. Tara, your team and the mayor's team, and Ellen Redding and the Henderson Chamber and our task force. It's great collaboration. We hope it works. We want it to work. And when Kentucky catches up a bit in the opening phase for things like in-room dining in restaurants, theaters, gatherings like sporting events, we'll all be on the same page as the importance of following the CDC guidelines.
Oh, what else?
Well, we all know how difficult this has been on businesses having to close down for this length of time, but they all have a wonderful attitude in wanting to do it right, follow the guidelines. And like Tara said, I hope the public will respect the guidelines that are in place to keep everyone safe. And these business owners really want to do it right. And if they ask them to wear a mask, you know, respect that, because it is important for their business to do it correctly and to stay open. So really appreciate the fact that everybody needs to work together and respect what is happening right now.
And we sure appreciate you all covering this. We just think it's important to get the word out.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
It'll help the advertising at all your TV stations, trust us.
That's right.
I guess I have one quick question before we go. I don't know if we're wrapping up or not, but have businesses previous to today, have they reached out to you all and asked, hey, what can we do? What should we do? Is this kind of how this was all sparked?
Yes. Actually, we did a town hall call 2 weeks ago now, and we asked some of our restaurateurs at that time, that was the particular group, what we could do to help them that we hadn't discussed yet. Because we had all the content up about childcare and transportation and access to funds and all those sorts of things that we anticipated to be issues. Getting personal protective equipment, those things are all big deals. And they came back and said, what you could do is be the third party that helps to give us the tools to let the community know that we are 100% committed to doing it right. And I thought, okay, that's when we talk to these businesses, because they're all smarter than us about this stuff. And they gave us some good tips on what we could do, and we followed through to be helpful.
And that's one of the things. Some of the questions that are coming through is we know this information is fluid. It is moving. Some things are changing. Some things are being clarified. And it's important that they know where to go to get those answers. And so the chamber is that clearinghouse of information so that they have it right. So they are calling and they're asking because they want to be diligent in their process.
Other questions? Brad, Mayor, Judge Executive, sir?
I'm good. I'm eager for questions, but I appreciate the, as you said, Tara, I appreciate the media's help and help spread this word. The sooner we can all get back to something approaching the new normal, I guess you would call it, the better for all of us. So thanks for having us on today.
So I'm just going to ask this question. We'd welcome it if you'd all take this digital content and use it as much as you can. I think we're making it available to you somehow. I'm looking at the people that know more about this than me. Noah, Chanda, you're going to take care of that, right? Okay, well, thank you all for joining us this morning.